Hello and welcome to another edition of the TimeFlies podcast. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can see we have a familiar face. We got Mr. Marvel back in the building. It's been a minute, but my brother Rainer is in the building. Rainer, my guy, how have you been, bro?
Well, it is happening, man. What is happening? I've been good. Good to see you this time around, bro. I know we chat almost every day, but it's good to always
Facts.
get on the pod and lock shit down. But we got some shit to talk about. I'm excited. Glad to see you good. Glad to hear you good. I've been
Facts.
doing well, man. I've been doing well. Just fucking working,
Yeah, just
working
like
and trying to have some fun. We're here for a good time, man.
facts. We're here for a good time. We're here for a fun time. Yeah, Rainer and I, we were talking before we actually started recording this podcast. We were trying to lock down for a couple of different projects, but some of the projects were absolutely trash, and then scheduling. And I haven't seen some projects. So we've been trying to lock in for a podcast episode, and thankfully we finally found something that we can lock in, talk about, rejoice, give our takes, give our
Thanks.
thoughts. And yeah, man, I'm very interested to hear just your take on Captain America: Brave New World because it's very interesting. A lot of the discourse that I've seen on the internet is like I see some people being fans of a Sam Wilson led movie. I see some people on the internet being like what was the point of this? Like I don't think he could carry a movie. And me personally, before I ask you, I just want to give you my thoughts, so maybe you could go off of it. But like, dog, honestly, like I had no expectations for the movie. I had no expectations for the movie. Like I just said, it was a Sam Wilson led movie. Like Sam Wilson, I think a lot of people forget about is like he's not a superhero. He doesn't
Right.
have powers. The way that people look at him is because the way he carries himself, and then being assigned picking up that Captain America shield, like that adds a lot of pressure, that adds a lot of like responsibility, and he's able to carry that responsibility because of just the person that he is. And I feel like the movie did a really good job of highlighting like the kind of the complicated relationship that he has with the shield and also being looked at as a superhero because he's not a superhero. I didn't have any expectations for the movie. I think it was a good movie for what it was.
Yeah.
Obviously, the expectation of seeing the Red Hulk is definitely something that drew my attention and why I wanted to see it. I also wanted to see Harrison Ford playing Thaddeus Ross. That's the character's
Hmm.
name. I think the actor that played Thaddeus Ross prior to Harrison Ford, I think his name was William Hurt. He
Yes, correct.
yeah, he passed away, so obviously rest in peace. But we also
RP.
they needed someone to take over that role. And going into Captain America, I actually watched the Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I rewatched that. I also rewatched Eternals because I knew that there was going to be a
Yeah.
part of the Eternals that was going to be directly into the Brave New World movie. It was with the emergence. Yo, Eternals, that movie is okay, but God, man, like ever since Endgame up until this moment with Brave New World, we've talked about it. There's so many highlights, so many lowlights.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eternals is it's actually I rewatched it and it's okay. And the only reason why I watched it is because there's a direct storyline that kind of goes into Brave New World, which is why I rewatched it. The whole Adamantium, that was pretty cool seeing them talk about
Yeah.
it, which is from the Eternals. So yeah, I mean, it's just like basically, I know I'm giving you a lot of information, but if I'm gonna simplify it, I liked the movie. I didn't have any expectations of it. I didn't expect the movie to completely change the course of the MCU timeline. I was like, no, this is a nice little addition to what's been going on. Um, and I just like seeing Sam Wilson being the lead in the movie and not having to be the buddy to Steve Rogers or even the buddy to Bucky like he did in
Right.
the show for the Disney Plus show. So talk to me about your feelings regarding the movie and wherever you want to go.
Yeah, I think a lot of what you said is essentially how I feel. I was super excited for it though. I will say that. Like I was looking forward to it, but did not have expectations as well. Especially we did get to see a little bit of Sam and his story for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the Disney Plus TV show, which I really enjoyed. I thought it was really good. Thought it was a great way to continue Sam and Bucky's story. Like I think how they intertwined where they were was kind of cool, and how they kind of progressed together, but then still were able to separate them was
Mm,
great. and for both of them to obviously be have been right hand man to Steve Rogers
Yeah.
while he's Captain America and Bucky before and after. It's a nice way to simple way to bring them together, but it's not that easy, right? These two are very two different characters. They've been through very different experiences, and one of them is now has been chosen directly by Steve to be Captain America.
Yeah.
And I like that they never did a fake conflict of Bucky being like, "Oh, why didn't he choose me?" I love that they never ever took that route. That's not
Facts.
Sam. That's not, I mean, that's not Bucky. So I love that they never like kind of every time they're on the screen together, I'm like, oh, they're gonna do it.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
they don't do that, which is great. And there's this moment in this movie, which we'll get to later, that kind of cements that as well. But overall, I did really enjoy the movie. Again, going back to Falcon and Winter Soldier, how grounded it was and
Yeah.
how it was about Sam and how he's conflicted with being chosen as Captain America and being put into this world while not being a superhero, which he already had been a part of. Motherfucker was in Infinity War,
Facts.
Civil War, Endgame. He'd been with the shits. My son Sam's not pussy, you heard?
It's crazy.
So,
He's a simple human and he's going up against Thanos' army, and it's like, dog, you should have died.
yo, with gats. Like, yo,
Facts.
bro, you should be done, bro. Them little
Facts.
wings should have been clipped, my
And
boy.
that was prior to the vibranium wings that the Wakandans gave Sam, because
Yeah,
they gave him the wings at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They gave him like a new upgraded version. So
yeah,
when
yeah.
the ones that he was using in Infinity War and Endgame were completely just like man-made, and it was just like
Straight up. With a fucking with a vest. Like he didn't even have a suit, bro. He had a
facts.
t-shirt with a vest.
Like t-shirt. I'm crying.
I would say satisfied with what they did with Sam's character and how they
Yeah,
continued again to push his story forward because his story is unique to anyone else's.
absolutely.
Um, Especially as a black character, right? Like you have Rhodey, you have Sam Wilson, you have T'Challa, all different journeys, but Sam is the one that's more like relatable, I
Yeah.
would say.
Rewatching Falcon and Winter Soldier, you get to find out that there was a super soldier before before Steve Rogers. He was black, and then the government it's kind of how it really relates to the real world with that relationship
Hmm.
between black people and the rest of the community. They studied him, they picked at him, they prided him, and Sam Wilson in the show, he finds out, he's super upset about it, but then he returns in this movie, and he's part of the reason why Sam Wilson has to go on, I guess, a mission to find out what exactly happened. So the movie it picks up with like
Yep.
it's an attempt on the assassination of the president, who is Thaddeus Young. And
Hmm.
part of the assassination is Isaiah. Isaiah is he's kind of like bamboozled, he's kind of like hypnotized through his cell phone, and then Sam
Yep.
Wilson, they need to investigate as to like how did this happen, who's behind this, who's the mastermind. I just really like to see I really like to see Isaiah being a part of this movie. I wish he was a bit a part of it a little bit more.
Agreed.
Because like the attempt on the assassination, and then like the rest of the movie he's in jail, which was like, oh man, I wish he got a little bit more
Yeah.
light.
My boy brought up a good point because we both went to see it together and he's like also the same thing. Like would have liked to see more Isaiah or like for them to do something else with his story. Something like he's a super soldier, right? So like why isn't he on the run and figuring out and trying to prove his innocence type shit, right? Like that would have been really cool instead of just having him in prison and this
Mm.
fucking weird little lady that we're gonna talk about or whatever. But that would have
The
been
girl from Black Widow, the Widow School, she looks scary, bro. I
oh
was like,
my God,
are you
bro.
80 years old or are you 21? Like I couldn't tell, bro.
Jesus Christ, bro. That was Jesus. But yeah,
But
like it
what
would have
about
been nice
her?
to see more aside.
Wait, what about her that had you like, what's going on with this
Bro,
character?
she was the most forced character in the entire MCU, I think, bro.
Mm.
I've never felt like there's been people I'm just like, all right, chill, like relax. But this one, bro, they forced her in the movie, bro. And I
Yeah.
think she wasn't part of the original script because
She
she was
was
like
or was
part of the,
not?
I don't think she was.
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
I think they added her and then did reshoots and shit like that. or like they toned her down because of the whole Israel thing that's going on with Palestine, free Palestine.
Oh wow.
But yeah, because that's essentially her character. She's like
Yeah, yeah.
from Israel. She's like a superhero and shit like that. But like when they first show her, she's there, and the president is like, "Yo, yo, she's good. She's in here with us."
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, cool." She's like some sort of muscle or whatever type shit.
Right.
But then she just kept showing up, and they kept forcing her, and then she kept
Facts.
having lines, and then she kept just popping up in moments. I'm just like, "What the fuck, bro? Get
Facts.
Frodo Baggins in here, bro." Why was Frodo in the movie, bro?
Yeah, no, no, yo, that's a really good point, bro. Really good point that you brought up because like when she's
Dog.
like, I forgot what scene it was, but I think she was talking to Sam and she was like giving the breakdown of her background and she says that she's from the widow school. So I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, okay, cool. This is the connection to the rest of the MCU, to Black Widow, cool. But like, I had no feelings towards it. I didn't, I had no feelings. Like as soon as she said that, it wasn't like, oh, I want to find out more about her background. It's like, nah. Cool. I know where you come from. I know you have all these skills. I know you can fight. That's why you're Harrison Ford's muscle. And then it's just
bro.
exactly like you said. She just kept popping up. And I'm just like, all
Bro.
right.
Yeah, bro. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
please,
yeah.
bro. We already have Yelena, bro. We don't need another widow right now. Like,
Yeah.
we're good.
Yeah.
We are good.
Yelena, your girl.
Facts, my
Um,
baby. I love you,
your
Florence.
baby. So, okay, so this is what I wanted to say earlier. So, dog, one thing that I am a little annoyed about MCU, it's partially not their fault because The Incredible Hulk, the one I think is 2007 with Edward Norton, that storyline is a part of this movie.
Yeah.
And that's the one project that I did not rewatch going into this movie because I didn't really know. There's a couple of characters that come back from that movie.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I wish I rewatched that movie because I do remember it. I remember so we find out who's the mastermind behind the assassination of Thaddeus Young, played by Harrison Ford. The character's name is Samuel Stearns,
Yes.
aka
There we
the
go.
leader, played by the actor Tim Blake Nelson. So in The Incredible Hulk back in 2007, I think he's like a professor at NYU or something.
Hmm.
And then in this movie, the storyline is that Thaddeus Young, he's running for president, and that he kind of kept Samuel Stearns like in kind of like a basement. His power is not even his power, but it's just like he's able to calculate all any future events that's going to come up. He's able to give the president like the best solution moving forward. That's kind of like the simple way of putting like what his power is.
He's a mad scientist,
Yeah,
essentially.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, mad scientist is a better way of
Yeah.
putting it. But where I was gonna go with it is just that again, this is not really MCU's fault, but the recasting is annoying as hell. Edward Norton, I think it was contract negotiations, and I think that's why he didn't want to be Bruce Banner anymore. Now, Thaddeus Young, like we said in the beginning of this podcast, the actor William Hurt passed away. So that's not necessarily MCU's fault. But I did find myself in the movie. I found myself like kind of playing catch up. Like Harrison Ford is the new Thaddeus Young. William Hurt, he had an important part in Civil War. He had an
Yeah.
important part in The Winter Soldier. He had an important part in Captain America, and that's played by William Hurt. So like seeing Harrison Ford in this movie, I kind of had to like retrain my mind that it's just the same character but just a different person.
Yeah.
And it was that's just one thing that I'm annoyed with.
It's not their fault, and I think they always utilized William Hurt. He was a great actor too.
Yeah,
And I like that they always kept Thunderbolt Ross around. So this didn't feel like they just brought him back for the
out of
shit,
nowhere. Yeah.
which was nice. It did take some getting used to with Harrison Ford, especially he didn't have his signature mustache
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thunderbolt usually has. Would have been cool to see the Red Hulk with that shit. Once I got into it, and obviously I was excited to see Harrison Ford but for him to get the payoff of what William Hurt got to do, kind of I felt bad, but it's nobody's
Facts.
fault there.
Facts. One of the aspects of this movie that we talked about a little bit earlier is the introduction of the adamantium, which, if you're a comic nerd, if you're a comic fan, you know that Logan, Wolverine, that is part of just his whole body. He has adamantium running through his whole body. So they're planting the seeds. They're planting the seeds
Yeah.
for the X-Men, and that's one of the future projects that's going to be coming up, whether if it's a TV show or movie. But again, like if you look at it, this movie had like a lot of different parts. You had like Giancarlo Esposito as the signed Weinler, I think his name is, something like that. But yo, my brother told me that Seth Rollins was actually up for that part, bro.
He shot it and everything.
Really?
Yeah, bro. He shot he you can find his behind the scenes photos and everything. I don't know if it was the same exact character, but Seth Rollins recently was on a podcast and he was like, yeah, my character pretty much got taken over for what Giancarlo did. And he's like, he's an incredible actor. I'm not mad at it, but yeah,
Wait,
he
so
was in it.
they fired him or what happened? Do you know?
Reshoots, bro. They changed the script and they changed the story. They changed it, they added shit, they removed shit, so he didn't make the movie. He
Oh
took time off
man.
for that shit too. I remember because by that time I was already back into wrestling and Seth was out for a little bit.
Shooting that scene, the scenes for that movie. Yo,
Yeah.
I had
Uh,
no idea.
he he said his wife too was in the credit scene for Eternals. He said she was supposed to be in it, but they took her out too.
Fuck. Damn, Seth Rollins. I'm sorry, my boy.
Yo, I would have been hyped. He's somebody that I would like to see in a movie, bro, because he's such a fucking character, bro.
Yeah.
I would have
Yeah.
liked to see him like get that moment.
Yeah, my brother, he told me about that, and I'm like, what the fuck? I know he's a wrestler, but I'm like, I never heard about this. And
Yeah.
even when I Googled Captain America Brave New World, he comes up in the cast. He comes up as Seth Rollins, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy, bro.
Oh shit, he still comes up. That's
Yeah.
fire.
He
Hopefully they put some of his scenes. I don't know if, to your point, it's the same exact character,
yeah.
but if it's a different character, hopefully they put out some deleted scenes where we could see him do his thing.
So something else that I definitely want to pick your brain about. So going into this movie, everybody know that we were going to see the Red Hulk. After this movie came out, I'm going through the internet and I'm going on different Marvel Twitter pages and I'm seeing like kind of reports. I'm kind of seeing different people talk about the movie. And one post that I saw was the director of Brave New World. He talked about Mark Ruffalo making an appearance in this movie. And before any trailers came out for this movie, and I knew that they were shooting this movie, I was actually this was a long time ago. I was expecting for Mark Ruffalo to pop up in the movie because how are you gonna have Red Hulk and then everybody's gonna be thinking about Bruce Banner, obviously. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
he's probably gonna make an appearance. But the director said that they decided to not include Mark Ruffalo in this movie because it would take away from Sam Wilson, which this is a Sam Wilson movie. This is about him and the conflicts that he's wrestling with. So I kind of wanted to pick your brain to see like, did you even knowing all that, did you still want to see a Bruce Banner cameo, or do you think they made the right decision with not even including him?
You know, it's funny. I actually didn't know that they were planning to have him in there. So
Mm.
that's something that's this is first time hearing about it. But I also no, I don't think I was expecting it. Um, and I think it was the right call too, because there's one thing that when we were watching it, and I looked at my boy when Red Hulk came through, and I was just like, yeah, this the Hulk we missed. I was like, yo, this the Hulk we've been asking for. And
Yeah.
it was that. It let us enjoy that moment and that Hulk for what we've been missing, what we haven't seen, what we've been complaining about. Like, where's the fucking Hulk? So it was nice to get that and not have to see the Hulk that we recently
Yo,
got.
it's an atrocity. It's an atrocity of what they've been doing to Mark Ruffalo, bro.
Yeah, bro. It's
I
rough, man. It's rough.
did you watch She-Hulk? I didn't watch
Yeah,
She-Hulk.
yeah, yeah. I did,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, yeah,
What
I
I
didn't.
mean,
Go ahead.
there though, there was kind of like there was some kind of signs of hope because he's like training her and shit like that. And I'm just like, oh shit, okay, like my son's still getting busy. So because in Endgame he was injured, so he couldn't do shit
Right,
after he snapped.
right.
And we saw him in post credit scene. I forgot what movie.
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi,
Yeah, but that
but
was
he
Bruce
was still
Banner. Yeah, yeah.
injured.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. But even then, remember, because he wasn't supposed to be able to go back and forth, but
Right,
it was
right,
Bruce
right.
Banner. So even that was like a big deal. But then next time we see him, he's still in Hulk mode. So they got some explaining to do there, but it was nice to like still not get that in this movie also because it would have been a lot more explaining to do too, and that would have taken away from
Facts.
the plot of the movie. Because we would have been like, yo, what the fuck? How he show up? What he been up to? Oh, he can fight still. Or it would have just taken a lot. Like what they did in Deadpool, we got a little hint. It was a comic book cover, but it's also the fucking Hulk. But we just like, oh shit,
All right, right.
that's what we want to see. So they keep kind of doing that. So hopefully when they land it, they give us what we want.
They need to redo that, bro, because what they've been doing to Bruce Banner is a fucking atrocity, dog.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Atrocity. Yeah, so something else that I saw from the post, bro. So the director, he said that the post-credit scene where Sam goes to visit
The leader,
the leader,
Stearns.
yeah, Samuel Stearns, thank you. Sam goes visit Samuel Stearns in that prison that's in the middle of the ocean. And Samuel Stearns, like I said, one of his whatever talents is that he's able to predict, he's able to take all these calculations in and see what the end result is going to be. So he tells Sam Wilson that like you guys need to be ready for them, and that's where it ends. And in the Twitter post that I saw, the director says that that post-credit scene is supposed to tease the Illuminati.
Okay.
And my question is just like because we saw the Illuminati in the Multiverse of Madness, which that is a fucking a dog. Do you remember the trailer for Multiverse of Madness where they fucking
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
put they put Professor X in the trailer? I'm still not
Jesus,
over that,
bro.
bro.
Yeah, bro. I couldn't believe that shit, bro.
I was so mad because we got the
Fuck them
reveal.
for that, bro.
We got the reveal of John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic in that movie, which was dope, which was amazing. But
Hmm.
if you were able to keep that secret of Professor X with John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, that shit would have been a fucking
Yeah,
moment,
bro.
bro.
Yeah, with the
But
yellow,
whatever.
with the
Yeah.
fucking yellow wheelchair and all that, bro. This shit was gas.
With the music in the background, the X-Men theme music in the background, dog.
They ain't catch that at first, bro. They ain't catch that at first. I heard
But
that shit.
but yeah, so we saw the Illuminati, we saw a version of it, and Wanda in Multiverse of Madness, she completely kills off that Illuminati.
Wash them up.
OD. So when I'm seeing this post about the director saying that Samuel Stearns in the post-credit scene for Brave New World is teasing the Illuminati, I'm kind of like, whoa, like okay, so there's another Illuminati, and if there's another Illuminati, what are the characters in that Illuminati? There are elements of this movie where you could just pick and be like, oh, okay, they're setting something up here, they're setting something up there.
I didn't know that either. That the director like tweeted that shit. But also I know Illuminati, I think, because I know we have two versions of Secret Wars. There's the 2000s version, and then there's the original shit from like I think the 80s
Mm,
Secret Wars came out. So I think in one of them, if not both of them, the Illuminati play a big part,
okay.
where it's like Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, Professor X, and shit like that.
Sheesh.
So yeah,
Yeah.
like the lineup we saw in Multiverse, I think is a little different from the main ones that people when they talk about the Illuminati is like these is the niggas.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the post right now, and it says Julius Ona, who's the director of Brave New World, confirms that the post-credit scene of Captain America: Brave New World teases the Illuminati, and then he goes on to say the group was originally included in an early draft of the film. The source of that is a magazine. It's called The Wrap, where they had an interview with the director, and that was one of the quotes from that interview. So
Okay.
pretty credible.
Yeah, yeah, because that's good to know though. Because when I saw it, I was just like, "What are y'all talking about?" Like, we know there's other worlds, there's other alien. Like, we know all this already. So why the hell are you doing that? I wish they would have kind of leaned in a little more to it, but they probably just didn't want to horseshoe it
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and potentially force any later plans. So they kind of kept it vague and broad.
Yeah, no, absolutely. One something I said a little earlier is that how a couple of characters come back from the Incredible Hulk movie in 2007. So we talked about Samuel Stearns, the leader,
Hmm.
but we didn't talk about my girl. My girl. We didn't talk about your girl is Florence Pugh Yelena. My boo is Liv Tyler, bro.
Yo, I was hyped for her, bro.
Not, I don't have a lot to say. I just want to say that, yo, she's one of the baddest white girls. Like, just her voice and how beautiful she is, dog.
You
She's
don't
so
age
beautiful,
too,
dog.
bro. You don't age, bro.
Aged like fine wine.
I was excited for her. I think I was the only one in my theater that was like, yo, let's go under my breath. Because, bro, like she's an OG in this shit, bro. And I've been waiting to
Yeah.
see her again, bro. I've been like, I don't think she's been back since
No, she
then, right?
hasn't. No, she hasn't. Which is one of my
Like,
gripes. Which is one of my gripes because the Incredible Hulk 2007 is part of the MCU, but I feel like the recasting of Edward Norton, it kind of threw things off for a loop. It's like when they recasted Edward Norton for Mark Ruffalo, I feel like Kevin Feige, they were like, we don't want to confuse the audience even
yeah,
more. The recasting is already a confusion for the audience, so let's just focus on Bruce Banner. Let's completely take out the other characters, his girlfriend, Liv Tyler. I mean, Thaddeus Ross does end up coming back a little bit later in the MCU timeline. But like, I just wanted to see the Incredible Hulk 2007. I want MCU to give it a little bit more love, and maybe they'll start doing it a little bit more. But maybe this is a one-off. But
yeah.
seeing Liv Tyler coming up in the very end of the movie was definitely dope.
I think there's a lot of shit like besides the whole actual recasting going on with that. Because remember, there's like I think it's still going on where essentially Paramount or Universal has the rights to Hulk, so they can't
Oh,
make
okay.
Hulk move. So like, there's a lot more going into it. And I think she initially, if I don't know if I'm 100% right here, but she initially wasn't with the shits because of the recast too.
Mm.
Like because they recasted him, she was just like, yeah, I'm not pulling up. So because we've seen Abomination came back and things like that. I
A
think
couple of times,
it,
yeah.
I think that's Buddy's name though, no? Because earlier you mentioned when we were talking about Samuel Stearns, isn't Tim Blake Abomination? No, that's Tim Roth, right?
Yes, that's
Yes, yes.
Tim Roth. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Their
And
fucking names are so similar.
Abomination, he made like a little appearance in Shang-Chi.
And then
Uh
She-Hulk, I believe.
oh yeah, She-Hulk. Okay, yeah, I didn't see
Yeah.
She-Hulk. There's so much that goes into these projects with movies and TV shows. I saw something earlier that Tom Holland, he can't appear in any of the Disney Plus shows because Sony, that's a part of the Sony contract. Like he can only have his own MCU movies. He can't be a guest appearance. He can't be the main person of a Spider-Man show, which is why your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is an animated series. So Sam Wilson is Captain America now. So that means that there's going to be a vacant slot for the Falcon, and Joaquin Torres is the one who takes up that mantle. So Joaquin Torres, played by the actor Danny Ramirez, I think he was one of the bright spots of the movie, and especially I really liked how they built up the relationship between them two. He was introduced in Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I mean, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He was introduced in that show, and you get to see a little bit of the bond between him and Sam Wilson. But in this movie, I feel like they definitely highlighted it a little bit more. And then the end scene of the movie where Torres is in the hospital bed because he got injured during one of the missions. Yo, that should have me a little emotional because Torres is telling him how much he looks up to him, how
Yep.
much he respects him, how much pressure that Sam Wilson has on his shoulders, and the way that he's able just to go about the mission. Like that should have me a little emotional, bro.
Yeah, those defining moments. So earlier when we first started recording, I said there was going to be a moment that we talk about, and it was this one. This is the one I wanted to talk about. So
Okay.
it's one of those moments that's going to change or defines where Sam currently sees himself, and where he is, right? Because those are two different things.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
absolutely.
we all as humans know what that is, right? Like somebody might view you a certain way, but you feel different, right? So that's what he's been battling this whole time. And again, you mentioned him having that conflict with the shield itself, and this is fucking it's an object, but what it stands for, right? All those things. And even like at the end of Falcon Winter Soldier, you think that he's gotten there. He's like, all right, cool, this is me. He pulled up, got to the shits, he saved the day. But then here in the movie, we still see he's having that same conflict as he's going through shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that moment at the end of the movie, that shit did it for me too, man. I was like, yo, hold on, man. Because we talk about Steve Rogers and this new Captain America, Sam Wilson, and you mentioned it earlier, right? Like, Sam doesn't have powers.
Yeah,
He is Steve Rogers without the serum, essentially. But he's
yeah,
a black man, so he's dealing with a whole different type of thing, right? So I think that's what makes Sam so special. And in that moment, they highlighted all of that. Of
yeah.
somebody who was a kid who he cares so much for, and then for him to say that to him, like Whew.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
that was so well written, man.
yeah, I definitely thought that was a highlight. It's the end of the movie, and it's one of the highlights of the movie. Yo, pop
Yeah,
question, so random. I think if Sam Wilson took the serum, I think he'd be fine. But I understand why taking the serum has so many complications, why it's such a big risk. Because at your core, you need to be a good person at your core. That's the only reason, that's the only way the serum is going to work. That's why Steve Rogers was able to become Captain America. If you look at Wyatt Russell, who's the actor who played the new Captain America in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, he took the serum, but it didn't really turn out good for him because at his core, he still had a lot of conflicts within himself. And honestly, just the last few projects that I've seen Sam Wilson and this movie he's leading in this movie, like I think if he took the serum, he's gonna be fine. I think
yeah.
he would be able to he would be able to just be good-hearted and do the right thing at all moments.
I think so too, but also at that point, there's nothing that differentiates him from Steve, which is the whole purpose.
Yeah, 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 absolutely.
He's like, I'm not Steve Rogers, but Captain America is a mantle, essentially. Like it stands for something, and I represent that, which is why I am now Captain America. So I think
Love
it
it.
really ties well into that story. My boy actually brought up another good question too on the train ride. We were coming home from the movie. He's like, "Do you think Sam could pick up Mjolnir?"
Ooh.
Right? I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "That's a good question, man."
I mean if I'm going off of everything you said, that Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson, they both represent the same thing. The only difference is Steve Rogers has the powers, and Steve Rogers was able to pick up, how do you pronounce it?
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir. He was able to
Yeah,
pick it up in Endgame. So if we're
yeah,
going by that logic, then Sam Wilson, he's worthy. He's worthy of
yeah,
picking up the hammer. So I mean, you never know. Maybe we might see
yeah.
it. Maybe we might see it in the upcoming Avenger movies.
Yeah,
But
Thor might fuck around and be like, hold this. And he just drops that shit. I think he can too. I think he will be worth I don't think at the moment because of the conflict. Because Steve
Mhm,
Rogers
mhm.
was like so complete,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like he really didn't have much conflict. Because even in fucking Civil War, where you think he would have conflict, he was so confident in where he stood.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like he's just like, no, like this is the right thing to do. And it made you question, like, I know I was on my man's side. I was Tony all day, baby. Especially when this is like, yo, this motherfucker killed his parents, bro. No shot. But
Facts,
it
bro.
makes you think, like, yo, am I standing on the wrong side? Because like this is where Cap is standing, and Cap stands for right, and he knows what right is. Like you don't question him.
Civil War, I have a complicated relationship with Civil War. What do you consider Civil War? Do you think it's an automatic MCU classic? Or do you think
Uh,
it's like just a really good movie?
I have it as a really good movie.
Okay, so you don't have it as an MCU classic. I'm right there with you. I have it as a really
Yeah,
good movie, but when we talk about certain movies and we're talking about Civil War right now, like everything you're talking is it's great. Like Steve Rogers standing in his stance, 10 toes down about like, no, we do not need to sign the Sokovia Records or whatever. Like, and he's so confident in that. And then you got the opposing side of Tony Stark being like, no, we need to because we need to face the repercussions of what we do and all that stuff. Like the storyline is great, but I don't know. There's something about Civil War specifically that's holding me back from calling it an MCU classic, which I think it should be considered that, but it's just
yeah,
not for me. And I've rewatched it a couple of times, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like I feel like the introduction of so many not introduction, the introduction of some heroes and the addition of some heroes in that movie, I feel like it made it a little bit too popcorny. It made it a little bit too like a little bit of a spectacle.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
that's
I
just
feel
me.
you.
That's just me personally. That's why I don't really have it as an MCU classic.
I think that's why I was going to pose the question, like, does it change if that was an Avengers movie?
If Civil War was an Avengers movie, would I call it a classic?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
You would?
Um, I don't think so, but I
What?
did think they did a really good job with still making it a Steve Rogers movie. But
Right.
to your point, like a lot of that can kind of to the general audience and to somebody who kind of like I enjoyed Captain America 1 a lot. I know some people don't. And then 2 was
Classic.
top three probably for them, bro.
Facts.
And
I'm with you.
to come off of that, like, it's like, damn, yeah, I had it like, and it's still to me, it was still a good Captain America movie, but
Absolutely.
it did add a lot to it, to like what you're saying, like it made it a little more blockbustery, popcorny. Um, but yeah,
Winter Soldier is such a fucking amazing, and it's a sequel, bro. It's so fucking good. It's insane.
that shit makes no fucking sense, bro.
Kind of wanted to pick this apart. So, if Civil War was an Avengers movie, what would make that different?
The presentation gets looked at different
Yeah.
because when it's an Avengers movie, you don't feel like they're adding all these characters for a specific reason. You're expecting to
Right,
see many
right,
characters.
right,
But again, remembering this is a Captain America movie, that's why
right.
I asked that question. If it was an Avengers movie too, they would have added more gas to that shit too. That shit would have been
Yeah. No, absolutely.
insane, bro. Yeah. I did like how they did, and I was talking about this with my boy too, how they didn't make, although the leader was the one like kind of making things happen in the background, they didn't
Right.
like kind of force him or like make him the big bad. I like that a lot. I think it kept the movie, like I use this word a lot when I talk about this movie. Like it was just fucking grounded. Like
Hmm,
it
hmm.
didn't try to do way too much. A lot of it just felt like very simple and like realistic, which just matches Sam, right? And like it shows you again his conflict, like he's questioning, why am I this? Why did they hand the mantle to me when I can't even deal with this little shit, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what if motherfuckers come to Earth again, type shit. So I like how they kind of just every piece fit in well, minus Shorty, obviously, but even her, like, she was forced, but she didn't like ruin shit. Like, she was just
Yeah,
there. That's what it was.
yeah.
Like, she was just there, but like the leader doing the things in the background, and then them building up to um, Thunderbolt becoming the Red Hawk and like kind of
Yeah.
teasing it a little bit on the ship, and
Right, right.
Sam having these big moments. One thing I didn't really fuck with is like they just changed his suit out of nowhere.
Sam's?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they randomly changed his suit. But that scene was really good with the missiles and all that shit. Like the stakes were high, bro, but like it felt like it was under control, and that just shows you how good of a character Sam is. Like
The scene where Torres gets hurt when they're trying to
they was
warn
trying to nuke
Japan.
each other, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That was pretty crazy. That was pretty
Like
crazy.
the stakes are high, bro. But like
Absolutely. And you felt it
he
too.
like he makes you feel like, yo, I got this. So like you felt pretty calm, like right? Because I go through emotions when I'm watching these movies. So like
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
felt like, yo, this is fucking crazy right now. But he was on it, but then he had to kind of take care of Falcon and shit like that. Yo, listen to me. Like let's do it. It was very like Tony Stark Spider-Man-ish, which was kind of cool. So like
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
yeah, like overall, like I really like even like when they brought in Isaiah and things like that. Like, they just all felt very real
Yeah.
and very just grounded. Like nothing was like, why would they do that?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense, at least for me. Even like when they brought in, we didn't speak about Bucky when he showed up. Even his
Right.
scene was very intentional and it pushed Sam forward. And he still
Yeah.
was questioning his shit until he spoke to homie in the hospital.
Yeah. The whole relationship with Bucky, I thought he was gonna appear a little bit more in the movie, but again, the director, like I talked to you a little bit earlier, the director wanted to make this a Sam focused movie, which I completely understand, and I think that was the right decision. Bucky appearing in that one scene, like you get to see the relationship that Bucky and Sam have and how they both hold each other accountable for certain things. So I do like that. One thing that I guess we didn't really touch upon that I guess I'll just throw my 2 cents in is Giancarlo Esposito as the Signwindler, whatever his
Mhm.
character is. We kind of touched upon it a little bit earlier, talking about Seth Rollins was supposed to be that character, but I don't know. I was talking about this with my brother. He's a little bit more on the side of like that character is a little bit beneath Giancarlo Esposito because Giancarlo Esposito is looked at as one of the legendary actors just in the game today. Would do the right thing, and obviously the Breaking Bad with Gus Fring. Like he's an amazing actor, and I I thought it was cool And then something else that I saw while I was looking through Twitter is the director said that they purposefully let Giancarlo Esposito's character kind of like on a cliffhanger because he may be coming back in the MCU, he may be not, which pretty much means that he will be back in the MCU. So when I saw that post, I was very relieved and happy because if this was gonna be Giancarlo Esposito's only attempt at being in the MCU, then I would consider it a huge disappointment. But the fact that he's probably going to be coming back in the MCU, I liked it. I don't really know a lot about the character. I know he has his own like story in the comics and all that stuff. But from what I saw, I thought it was cool. I didn't think it was anything like groundbreaking or anything. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, he was cool. He had some really funny lines too. Like when he went to go kill Cap,
To New
he said
Orleans, yeah.
something about that they offered him some bread, and they was like, "Yeah, they'll double it," but he was like, "Little do they know, I'll do it for free." And like he just clapped at him. It was bad. Like he had a couple of really good lines. I was just like, "Damn, he's so good." I feel your brother though, but also like they know what it takes to be in the MCU, bro. Like a lot of these movies, you're coming back, and I'm sure for them, like it could become redundant, or you just start not wanting to do it and shit like that. Like
Right, right.
it happens with Harrison Ford and Han Solo. He's just like, yo, bro, like I'm out of here, bro. Like, come on, you brought me back, and then they killed him off, and he's just like, I'm good. Like, so like I can see them, especially like the old legendary actors. Like, I can see them being like, I don't want to commit to like this big role, but I want to be a part of that history. Like I want to do
Absolutely.
something fun. And he wants to have fun. Like he plays a lot of like fucking serious, like to the shits character, you know? Like it's been a minute since you've seen him have some fun.
He's so good at that, like sinister, just big bad guy in the background. He's so good at that.
Facts.
Um,
Facts.
so we talked about Brave New World. What I kind of want to do right now, I just kind of want to talk about the future projects that Marvel has coming out because we always got to talk about what's in store for Marvel. And the project that's going to be coming out literally in a couple days, I am fucking hyped for, my boy. We've never really talked about Daredevil,
Now we
which
haven't.
we haven't. Did you watch the Netflix shows when they were on Netflix?
Yeah, I think I always can't remember if I watched the last Netflix season because they started putting out hella shows and I started
Yeah,
losing
yeah, yeah,
track. Because I know
yeah,
for sure I never watched Defenders, but I watched Punisher season 1 and 2. I watched Jessica Jones. I watched Iron Fist. I watched Luke Cage. I don't think I saw the
yeah,
last season. So like I started getting a little bit lost because they were like coming back to back to back. Pause.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but I don't remember if I saw the last season of Daredevil, but definitely
So,
watched it.
okay, so you watched it. What just from what you remember, what were your feelings regarding the Daredevil show on Netflix?
That shit was incredible, man. If it didn't feel comic booky. It felt like a
It felt
really good show, bro.
Dog,
It's
it
like a
felt
good
so
show.
fucking real, bro. It felt like it was literally happening in the neighborhood of Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah,
Like it felt like it could
yeah,
actually happen in real life. So I rewatched, I rewatched all three seasons of Daredevil in preparation for this show coming up on I think Tuesday is the premiere because
yeah. March
it's a
4th.
yeah it's a continuation of the Netflix show, which I think was the only way to go. Thank God. Um,
Yeah.
but I saw it all that time ago when it was on Netflix when it premiered. So I had to like just refresh my mind. Dog, when I tell you rewatching the first two seasons specifically, because season three is cool, but it's not as good, and there's a lot of different elements into reasonings why that it kind of was the worst of the three seasons, but it's still a good season. Season one and two, bro, is one of the best pieces of television history that I've ever seen, dog.
It was good, man.
The fighting choreography, the storyline, the acting, the building up of Kingpin, like everything in season one and two were fucking chef's kiss. Season two, they do a lot in season two. They're introducing Elektra. They're introducing Stick, who's the guy that helped Matt Murdock train as a kid while he was blind and get all these fighting skills.
Oh
They
yeah, damn
yeah,
stick. Yeah,
they introduced the topic of the Chaste, which is basically like this underground not company, the underground organization that believed that there's going to be a Messiah coming to save everybody. They introduced that storyline, and then the Messiah. Oh no, that was called the Hand. I'm sorry. The Hand is that
yes,
corrupt.
yes.
The Hand is that organization, and the Chaste is the opposing side trying to stop the Hand from basically tearing up the world from finding their Messiah. I know it's like a lot of information, but Elektra ends up becoming the Messiah of the hand. There's just so many storylines that are introduced in season two. Oh, and you also got fucking Punisher. I didn't
I
even
was gonna
mention
ask. I was
Punisher,
like, is that season two? Yeah, my son, the fucking oh man, my
the GOAT.
son fucking love John Bertha, bro. I love him.
The GOAT. I'm a little worried though because they recently announced that Marvel they're gonna give Punisher his own show under MCU on Disney
It's gonna
Plus.
be one of those presentations though, so it's one of those like one shot, which is the right idea.
I'm just worried that people are gonna be putting John Bernthal as the Punisher, and like that's the only thing he's known for. Like he's an
You think
amazing,
so?
yeah, because dog, he's so fucking good in that role, bro. It's scary how good he
Yes,
is in that role. And
natural.
yeah, me and you, like we like that dissecting movies and performance roles. So we're not gonna do that. But I'm talking about for like the general audience. Like I remember when it was announced that John Bernthal was gonna be in the Punisher of season two in the Netflix Daredevil series. I
I was
remember when
so
that was
fucking
announced.
hyped, bro.
Everybody was hyped. We saw it. It was amazing. And then he ends up getting his own show on Netflix for 2 seasons. And now he's coming back as the Punisher in the Disney Plus world, MCU world. And it's just like I just don't want people to put him in that pocket. Like, no, like that's he's not just that. He's so much more than the
Yeah.
Punisher. So that's just my feeling about it.
I don't think it's gonna happen because remember, like his big breakout was Walking Dead.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So like he was able to break out of that, which he only did like 2 seasons of Walking Dead. And I was like, nah, this guy, that's the man right there, bro. He was my favorite character in the show. Like just his little mannerisms, his acting. I was just like, yo, I fucking like this guy, bro. So when he got announced, I was super hyped. And then he fucking smashes it.
Facts.
And then he gets
So,
Wolf of Wall Street. He gets Fury. He gets, yo, my son is a stud, bro. He's fucking nasty, bro.
no,
And
he's an amazing actor.
he did the accountant, which they do in a sequel. I haven't seen the first one, but I heard it's good. And he's coming back for that. So like he gets busy, bro. He gets busy. So I
I'm
think I
not
think
a,
it'll be hard for people to put him in that box.
I'm not a fan of Ben Affleck. Like I don't think he's that good of an actor. He has moments, but I don't think he's that good of an actor. But The Accountant is one of my favorite performances of Ben Affleck, and it's one of my favorite movies. So it's definitely a
Okay.
good movie. It's
I
a good
might
movie.
maybe I'll watch that shit tomorrow or tonight because I have it on my list because I want to watch the second one. My boy was like, damn, you never seen the first one? The trailer for the second one kind of ruins it for you, but I was like, it's fine.
Oh, you saw the
I'll probably
trailer for part two?
yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for part two. But yeah, the first one, I was pleasantly surprised of how good the movie was. Ben Affleck's performance, John Bernthal, obviously. But yeah, yeah, no. So, Daredevil, the Disney Plus MCU Daredevil is going to be premiering on Tuesday. I'm so happy and I'm so excited because now, and prior to this show, Daredevil was in She-Hulk. I never
hmm
watched She-Hulk, but I heard that he made an appearance. So I guess that was the official introduction of Daredevil in MCU.
Fire.
And it was pretty good. And then there was Echo. Echo had her own show, but there was like Kingpin shows up in Echo. So
Yeah, yeah,
Kingpin.
yeah.
So there's just a lot. There's just a lot. You can tell that Disney and MCU that they're trying to build up Daredevil, and then he might have a prominent role in the upcoming MCU movies and stories and all that stuff. But I'm just so happy and excited to see the continuation of the Netflix show because I think they actually shot like when it was first shooting all those years ago. I think they actually shot a few episodes, but then they scrapped everything and then they actually went back to the original
Yeah,
Netflix story and that's where they continued it. There's so much going into this show, so much background information that I'm just pleasantly happy with the way they're doing it. And yeah, I'm excited for it, bro. I just wanted to get your thoughts about the upcoming Daredevil show.
yeah. I'm super fucking amped for this shit, man. I think Charlie's doing an incredible job. We saw him in Spider-Man. Everybody lost their shit when he came up. That was fucking fire. Cause like that movie was so good because it's like, yo, there was a lot of little like rumors that we just like, yo, this person's gonna show up for sure, but like you don't you believe it, but you don't fucking believe it till you see it, bro. So when he shows
Absolutely.
up, even when the other we talked about this, but like, yeah, like him showing up, I was like, oh shit, he's really fucking here, bro. And then
So
like
that
if
was actually introduction to MCU. I'm sorry, I said that She-Hulk, but
oh
no,
yeah, 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 facts.
that was the
Yeah.
actual introduction of him being in MCU. Continue, my bad.
Even the fear of like the cast not coming back and Charlie not being Daredevil. Like when Marvel picked up all the rights from Fox and shit like that, they're
Yeah.
just like, oh, they're gonna recast Daredevil, and then they brought him back. But then they're like, yo, is Foggy gonna come back? Is Karen gonna come back? All of that shit. Then they brought them back, and then even Punisher, people were like, yo, John Bertha gonna come back, and then they brought him back. Kingpin, all of them came back, and they really are investing in this shit because they're giving it, I think, 20 episodes, bro.
The first season? Sheesh.
Yeah, and already season two is greenlit, and apparently they're starting to shoot soon. So
Yeah, no, I saw that
they're
too.
really betting on the show, bro. So
Dog,
I'm
and there's
excited for it. The suit looks sick. It's like a lot more reddish. I just need
yeah.
them to get that fucking logo, man.
Oh yeah,
We
yeah.
need the logo, bro.
That's definitely gonna be a moment. That's definitely gonna be a
Yes,
moment.
bro.
And
Fuck.
one of the returning characters is Kingpin. And dog, Kingpin already has kind of like a backstory already built up. Like I mentioned earlier in Echo.
Hawkeye. Remember, Kingpin was in
Yes.
Hawkeye too. I forgot about that.
Yes. So if Kingpin is in Hawkeye, Hawkeye, part of the Avengers, like there's so many different elements that they could finally tie in Kingpin and Daredevil into the MCU. And dog, I'm just so excited to see because now they're gonna be officially able to drop little hints if they mention anything about the Hawkeye or Avengers. Like in Netflix, they were able to do it, but there was like so many contract disputes and stuff like that that
Yeah.
they weren't able to like blatantly say Avengers or Spider-Man.
Yep.
It was very like low key. But
Like
now,
the big green guy,
exactly.
the guy in the suit, like all that shit. That's how they would say it.
Yeah, I think they said something about Thor about being the god, just saying the god or
Yeah.
something. So
Bro,
this is
Spider-Man, Daredevil, bro, we need that.
yo,
We need Spider-Man, Daredevil, bro.
I have some information. I don't know if I want to spoil it for you, bro. Fuck.
Oh shit. Damn, bro.
I know,
Don't tell me,
man.
don't tell me.
Fuck,
Don't tell me.
man.
What's
I just saw
what
something.
happened, bro?
No,
For the for the show?
it's something about Spider-Man and Daredevil, the show on Tuesday.
Oh man.
And he doesn't show up, obviously. That's no, he
Right,
doesn't
right,
show
right,
up.
right, right, right.
But just read in between the lines. We're talking about the inclusion of the MCU and Daredevil finally being able to be a part of this world.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so just read between the lines. I saw something about Spider-Man and Daredevil. The show is going to be premiere on Tuesday. Take that with what you want. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but it's very
Listen,
exciting
man.
stuff. It's incredibly exciting stuff, is what I'll say.
Let's see,
Um,
man.
yeah,
They gotta pick it up from here, bro. They have to. This Daredevil got to hit.
it'll
He
hit.
gotta he gotta get his movie moment for real, man.
Nah, it'll hit. And another great thing about the show is that it looks like it's gonna be a fucking mature, violent, just like Netflix was. And
Yeah,
yeah, so that's one thing I'm excited for. They're not gonna tone it down because it's Disney. Like I think no
they can't, bro. They'll fuck the whole shit up, bro. Like
facts.
acknowledge what you're continuing on. Don't fucking ruin the legacy just because you got it now. Like
Yeah, no, absolutely. But
continue with what was winning, bro.
did you watch the trailer? Because I know you're not a big trailer guy, but did you watch the trailer for the show?
Nah, I
Okay,
didn't.
so the one thing that I'll say is that based off the trailer, they do that. They're continuing the tone and the just the element of the show of how like real and gritty and grounded.
Good.
They're definitely gonna do that. So I'll say that. But beyond Daredevil, after Daredevil, we were talking about it I think offline, but we were Thunderbolts is gonna
Yep.
be the project after Daredevil, which comes out May 2nd. I'm definitely gonna
Yes,
be
sir.
I'm definitely gonna be tuning into that. I'm gonna go into the movies to watch it. I definitely don't have any expectations of it. But I just want to see. I want to see where they take it. I know why you're gonna go to the movies and watch it. Your girl, Yelena. So
Baby. I'm excited for this one though. I'm excited for this one. I think the characters that they put together and the cast alone, like I want to see what they do with their characters. I want to see the villain. I want to see is he a villain? I want to see what makes him a villain. Like I don't like we said offline, we don't know about this character really, and I kind of don't want to do my research. I just want to go in there and see,
facts.
oh, he gets busy type shit. So I want to see how they go up against him, like what happens at the end, like what is
Yeah,
this, what seeds does this plant? And Kevin Feige, and I don't know if nobody's like really paying attention to it and like mentioning it, but he's like the asterisk in the title means
right.
something, and you
Mhm.
won't know till the end of the movie. So I hope it's something like major. I hope they don't just play it off as a joke. But like
Yeah.
that's so intriguing to me. Like, and it's such like a cool little nugget that I'm just like,
Yeah.
yo, I wanna know what the fuck that's about. Even like in the trailer, like Thunderbolts, and then it comes up. So like
Yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah.
putting it, they're putting it there purposefully.
Yeah, no, they're definitely making it something important that we got to pay attention to. I'm with you. Like I don't know a lot about it. The only thing I know about it is these are returning characters from previous projects. We got Yelena from Black Widow. We got Wyatt Russell, who's the actor who plays the new Captain America from the Falcon and
AJA.
Agent A. So he comes back. Bucky obviously comes back. Winter Soldier, we know him forever. The Red
Mm-hmm.
Guardian, he's also I think isn't he Yelena's father?
Like her father figure, I think. I don't
Okay.
think that's her actual father because her
Okay.
and Natasha were like that with him.
Okay. So yeah, he comes back. He's a returning character from the Black Widow. Ghost is a returning villain from one of the Ant-Man movies. So
Hmm.
there's just Taskmaster is another villain.
Yep, yep.
She returns. So it's just I just like I just want to see where they take it. I don't know anything about it. I'm excited to see it.
I was just thinking about like the little asterisk thing. I feel like
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be something with their name. I think that team is gonna be called something, but
Oh,
I think it's naturally called Thunderbolts because I guess he put them together like on some Suicide Squad or Amanda Waller type shit. But I
exactly.
think
So you think
they are,
it's a name holder just for now? You think
yeah.
that's the
I
reason
think
why?
their name is like the Secret Avengers. I don't know, some shit. I think it's gonna be
Interesting.
their name, but we'll see. We'll see.
Interesting. Okay. After Thunderbolts, actually, Ironheart is going to be the next project after Thunderbolts, which is June
Really?
20. Yeah, I'm looking at the list right now. It's Ironheart, June 24th on Disney
Shit.
Plus.
Oh, they
And
did drop a trailer.
yeah, and then Ironheart was teased back in Wakanda Forever. Um, again, I'm not going into it with any expectations. I'm just going into it to see what they do with the character. I'm definitely going to tune in. But yeah, that was definitely a minute ago. Wakanda Forever came out like what, 22, 23, and that's the only little bit of information that we got regarding the character that the
They
show is
keep
built
pushing
around.
that back too, man. That one got pushed back a couple times. So
I know my boy Wakanda Forever came out in 2022. So yeah, that's a fucking while ago.
damn.
Yeah, my boy Anthony Ramos, I think that's his name. My boy,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's
My
in the
son.
show, so. He's making big things happen in Hollywood. Okay,
Props to my man, bro.
facts. Latinos all day. You heard?
Yes, sir.
Yo, okay. But then after Ironheart, we got Fantastic Four First Steps, dog. This is the one, bro. This is the one
Yeah,
we've all been waiting for. And you haven't seen the
yeah.
trailer, you said, right?
No.
Damn. But damn. There's certain things that you see in the trailer where it's like, okay, they're going for it. And yeah, I mean, we've known about the casting. There was rumors before they officially announced it. Vanessa Kirby, Pedro
Incredible cast.
Pascal. Yeah, the cast looks like it's gonna be good. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of the ones that I have marked on my calendar, bro.
Yeah, I'm fiending for this one. I did see that Galactus is like officially in this one.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to
Yeah,
spoil
yeah,
it, but
yeah, yeah. That I saw. That I saw. Because
they saw Galactus. They shown Galactus a couple of times in the trailer, and I'm just like, all
oh
right,
shit, yeah, let's go,
bet,
yo.
let's get it, Galactus. Let's finally get the real big bad villain.
Facts.
Um,
So I saw when they leaked the trailer for Comic-Con last year, but that one didn't really show much. But they showed
okay.
Galactus like looking in a window for the building. Was that in the trailer?
No, maybe because
Okay.
I know they showed Galactus twice in the trailer, but I only remember one of the times. One of the times is like Galactus is overlooking like maybe Central Park. He's just overlooking
Yeah,
Central Park.
that's the one I saw. It was like a behind the
Hmm.
headshot of
That's
him
the one you're
looking
talking
down. Yeah,
about?
yeah. That one I saw. Yeah, for this
Okay.
official trailer.
Yeah,
But in
yeah.
the leaked trailer, it was one of like him looking inside a building window,
Oh shit.
like
Okay.
from the inside of the building. So you don't really see much of him. But this one from behind, you fucking see the whole. I'm like, yo,
The
that's
helmet and all that
Galactus,
shit.
bro.
Yeah, bro. So,
That's
and yeah,
Galactus for real, for real.
you mentioned it a little bit earlier. I forgot how we got into it, but you mentioned about the different universes, different timelines. And in this movie, I think the Fantastic Four, it's set in like the 60s, 70s,
Yeah,
but it's like a retro futuristic 60s and 70s,
yeah,
which is it's crazy. I'm definitely excited to hear the explanation and
yeah.
maybe if there's any other heroes that are a part of that timeline.
Good
But
point.
yeah, it's just like I don't want to say that a lot is riding on his shoulders because I don't think that's it. But Fantastic Four is an essential part of just the Marvel community, of the Marvel world. Like you have to have a Fantastic Four. You have to have a show or a movie. And
Facts.
thankfully it's a movie. Um,
Yo, 20, almost 20 years later, bro. That's the first family, bro. That's the first
Facts.
group. That's it's like you said, they hold a lot of weight in Marvel, and they're some of the coolest characters. They're like conflicting. It's almost like X-Men-ish a little bit, but like they're a family type
Absolutely.
shit.
There,
Um,
there's a character that's going to be introduced in that movie that's not Galactus, obviously not the Fantastic Four. There's another character that's going to be introduced in that movie. We already know the actor that's playing the character. I'm trying to see if you know it so I don't spoil it for you.
is Homegirl, right?
Is she white?
Yeah, with the blonde hair. I forgot what she was in.
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
she's in
That I think I know.
Julia Garner is her name.
Yes, yes.
She was in Ozark. She was in the recent movie
That's
Wolfman. Yeah. Do you know the character that she's
Ozark. Yeah.
playing?
That boy.
Okay, you know, thank God. Silver Surfer, let's go!
Yeah, yeah, man.
Silver
Yeah.
Surfer, let's go, bro. This is a lot of there's a lot of different exciting fucking parts of this movie, bro. And I'm definitely gonna be
Yeah.
there. I'm definitely
I
gonna be
keep
there opening
forgetting
night.
about that too. Like she's fucking playing Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Have they said or like if Silver Surfer is gonna be a woman
Right.
or
Nah,
like
I
they haven't
mean,
said that, right?
nah, I
It
don't
would
think
be cool
so.
if she just fucking plays Silver Surfer, bro. Because
Right.
Silver Surfer, I forget his story, but it was something about I think he was human though, yeah?
Honestly, the only thing I know about Silver Surfer was that he's a servant to Galactus. That's literally the only thing that
Yeah.
I know.
But that was because of something.
Right, right, right.
I think it was something to do with his planet or something like that. And he
Right,
decided to like so he could save his he's just like, yo, I'll work for you type shit. So but yeah, like it'll be I don't know if they're gonna make Silver Surfer a woman or anything like that, but it would be cool if she just plays the Silver
right.
Surfer.
No, absolutely. I mean, I
Like
think
keep my son with the baldy, yo. It's one of the only ones we got, yo. That's why I fuck with Silver. He's just a
Baldy
weirdo,
Gang.
nigga. He's just a weirdo with a baldy, bro, on a surfboard.
Baldy Gang, I'm crying.
Facts.
Yeah, I've seen some interviews, just her talking about her excitement for playing the character, but I don't think she really dives into the whole female male
Yeah.
aspect of the character. So it's gonna
It
be
shouldn't
interesting.
matter though, but
It
I'm just
shouldn't.
curious.
But
Yeah.
yeah, bro, that's it's very I'm very excited for that movie. I mean, the other projects after Fantastic Four, we got Eyes of Wakanda, which is going to be an animated show on Disney Plus that comes out in August. I'm not really big of an animation guy, so I'm not really checking for that.
Yeah.
Marvel Zombies is coming out October 25th with which is on Disney Plus, which is another animation show. And
About
then,
time.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so you've been looking forward to it?
Yeah.
And then the last project of this year is actually Wonder Man, which is I honestly don't know a lot about it.
Is it a special presentation?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just a show that's going to be on Disney Plus. The actor
Okay.
Yaha Abdul Mateen, who was in Aquaman, who was in Candyman, um, he's going to be the lead actor. And we also going to get a Ben Kingsley is going to reprise his role as not what the Mandarin. I guess it's the Mandarin. Yeah,
Trevor?
Trevor. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. He's gonna reprise his role as Trevor. But yeah, those are the projects remaining for 2025. So
Yeah, it's a
for
lot more than I thought.
yeah, I mean for me personally, you got some projects that I'm very excited for, and I got there's some projects in there that I'm not really checking for. So we're gonna see what Marvel does, what the MCU does with the remaining of the year. But Brave New World, Captain America, definitely a salute to Anthony Mackie, everybody a part of that project.
Big,
Rainer and
big,
I,
big things.
Rainer and I, we think it's a respectable project. We don't think that it's a horrible or a great project. It is what it is. But guys, if you guys are listening to this on any of the audio podcast streaming platforms, Amazon, Spotify, Apple, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. If you are watching this on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Rainer, my guy, I appreciate you so much for checking in with me and doing this episode with me. Thank you, my guy. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you, man. Thanks for having me, man. Always a pleasure. Always fun to talk about all the nerdy shit. Thanks for having me, man. It was good to kind of pick each other's brains with this movie. It was one that I was looking forward to having this conversation. Looking forward to see what they do next. Hopefully we can record for Daredevil and Thunderbolts. So let's lock those in.
You
from
know
now.
me,
But
bro.
yeah, hopefully,
If you want to do it, I'm in. You know me.
yeah, let's do it, man. Daredevil's gonna be a long one. I think. I don't think they're gonna drop all the episodes at once, but maybe we can do every couple episodes. That would be something pretty cool. So we'll figure something out, though. We'll figure something out for the Time Flies audience. We'll make it
Yeah,
happen for y'all.
no, I'm definitely down. And they're dropping Daredevil episodes, I think like two every week or one after the first two episodes, they're doing a two episode premiere. And I think after that, it's one episode every week. So if you want, we could do that. But yeah, we'll definitely talk about it. We'll try and get our schedules together and we'll get it together.
Yes,
But
sir. Yes, sir.
for everybody checking this episode out, thank you so much. And we'll check you out on the next episode of the Time Flies podcast. Peace.